Welcome back to Covert BPM. This is our very first week and our very first challenge for this entire project, what we're trying to do. As you saw in the very first video that we dropped, we landed on the production challenge for the week, and we landed on acid techno. Oof. I think we got our work cut out for us this week. Our mission and yours, if you're following along, interacting, and going to get into FL Studio or Ableton and kind of follow along with what we're doing, your homework's to listen to at least two tracks. Here's some of our artists that I recommended: Aslo, Marie Vaughn, Maddox, Nova. If there's any others out there under the acid techno or hard techno category, sometimes they get lumped together in that. I've also seen some of it thrown into what they call peak time on some of the listening sites like Beatport or BPM, Supreme, Spotify, that kind of stuff. What are 3 to 4 characteristics that you hear? You're looking kind of, what's the BPM or the speed of the song, the arrangement and structure of that song, or you're listening to several tracks, kind of weigh it out. Transitions, how do they handle that, or layering, and are they saturated with kind of a melody, or are they minimal in design? I can tell you what we found. Myles and I found that the percussion is layered on as the bars progress. It seemed like small additions were added about every 8 bars, which is pretty fast compared to some of the other subgenres under the EDM. This included percussion, sound fills, any kind of thing like that. And the acid techno really did not follow your typical song structure that we hear under the other subgenres, or even on the pop side of things. The BPM range we found on the stuff we were listening to anywhere between 140 to 155. There was a couple outliers, don't get me wrong, but they were even faster actually. Squelchy distorted leads, that typical 303 type sound from that led this industry. And the rises, they were super lengthy, like building up for that tension compared to some of the other subgenres. And it felt like every artist had approached how they started the song, within the first 24 bars. Some it was just drums layering on, and the others went straight into it. It was kind of cool. We found ultimately, minimalist in how they approached everything, but there was this like hypnotic rhythm within the fills and bass lines to add to the leads. We went ahead and searched on the Google machine just to see what AI and all that says about it. Tempo range 130 to 145. You see down there in the bottom the disapproval face, I should say. We don't necessarily agree with this because everything we found was above that. Kick drums, the mid-range TR-909s from Roland. That's a mid-range type of kick. But then a lot of the times they're layered underneath. Google says it uses the 808 underneath. As we're going to get into it this week, you're going to see that we're going to layer it with a slightly different type of bass line in there. Of course, kind of like what we said already, squelchy distorted leads that were Roland TB303, the old school TB303 or 303 like in the nature. Lengthy rises, tension belly. So pretty much Google says everything that we heard too. All right, guys. Like I said, we're keeping this short. On to the next video drop.